Welcome back. You're watching CNN News 18 Makes Sense. And now shifting our focus to some breaking news. CNN News 18 exclusive input brought to us by Manoj Gupta. Jamiat Ulema-e-Islam Fazl Chief Maulana Fazlur Rehman has now launched his most direct attack yet on Pakistan's Shehbaz Sharif government, accusing the leadership of committing shirk by prioritizing the appeasement of US President Donald Trump over religious and national principles. Now, the Maulana's remarks come amid a deepening political crisis following Pakistan's decision to join the newly formed Gaza Board of Peace in Davos. Delivering a scathing theological and political indictment, the veteran cleric questioned the spiritual integrity of Pakistan's rulers. Listen into what Fazlur Rehman has to say.
चीन भी हमसे मायूस, अफगानिस्तान से भी हमारी लड़ाई, ईरान से भी हमारी सरदमर्ही ताल्लुकात में, खित्ते में पाकिस्तान डूब रहा है, दुश्मनों के नरगे में आ रहा है। ये है इन अक्लमंदों की खारजा पॉलिसी कि जिन बातों का हमारे भाई ने हवाला दिया वो सब कुछ हमारी सपोर्ट के साथ वो कर सके थे। वो क्रेडिट खुद अपने न लें। मुझे पता है कि एटमी धमाके के वक्त वो कितने इस तरह मुस्तरब थी, उनको हिम्मत ही नहीं हो रही थी। उनके मिनिस्टर मेरे पास आया, कहा कि जी हम इस पोजीशन में नहीं हैं, और हमने कहा नहीं, हिम्मत करो। जब यहां पर धरना हुआ पार्लियामेंट के सामने तो ये तो इस्तीफे दे रहे थे, तो हमने कहा डट जाओ। तो मुस्लिम लीग जब भी किसी महाज पे मजबूती से खड़ी है, हमारी सपोर्ट के साथ खड़ी है, वरना हम जानते हैं सब कुछ।
मौलाना साहब, क्या आप समझते हैं कि मजहबी जमातें इस पोजीशन में हैं कि इसराइल की तरफ किसी भी पेशरफ्त में वो एहतजाज करेंगी, या क्या लाहे अमल हो सकता है, और किस इस वक्त पावर क्या है मजहबी जमातों की मुल्क में?
मुश्तरका लाहे अमल आ सकता है सामने मजहबी जमातों की तरफ से?
क्या
मुश्तरका लाहे अमल आ सकता है सारे मामले पे?
मौक़िफ़ एक आया हुआ है ना, सबका मौक़िफ़ एक आया हुआ है।
And for more on this, I'm being joined by CNN News 18's Anand Narsamin. Anand, a very good morning to you. It seems like there is this emerging rift between Pakistan's religious leadership as well, and its civilian government.
Morning to all our viewers. And it's not just a rift. The fact is, one has to ask Fazlur Rehman why he doesn't have to say anything about the Pakistan army, because this entire consensus has been driven by Asim Munir, who is the field marshal. It is not even the Pakistan civilian government under Shehbaz Sharif which has taken this call. They are mere puppets at the hands of the government, of the military. It's the military that is actually driving this entire discourse, because the US government is also engaging only with Asim Munir. Shehbaz Sharif is nothing but a prop there. Why is Fazlur Rehman taking on only the PMLN and not calling out the army for its cowardice? The fact is, when he says that more than 70,000 people have died and he is against the whole deal, Gaza Board of Peace, and this entire deal of Pakistan sending its troops on ground in Gaza to perhaps eventually shoot bullets at Hamas cadre or Palestinian freedom entities, and back the American West-driven narrative or on ground, and somewhere even recognize, they will have to recognize Israel, because unless they recognize Israel, they can't step into Gaza. So they will have to validate the presence of Israel. Pakistan has denied the presence of Israel. There are no visas given to Israel. There's no recognition of it. So they'll have to go all over their ideological stance over all these decades. And they've agreed to do that. But Fazlur Rehman is calling out only Nawaz Sharif, Shehbaz Sharif, the PMLN. He's not calling out the rest of the polity or even the Pak military. So that's a big question, why Fazlur Rehman is not saying anything about Asim Munir. Because Pakistan today is in the throes of the field marshal. It is the Pakistan military which is quasi-running that country. And they are the ones making these calls. But yes, within this entire loosely stitched coalition with the blessings of the Pakistan military, Fazlur Rehman first questioning this ideological issue. We got Colonel Rohit Dev also with us. Morning, Colonel Rohit Dev. A fair question to ask. Why is Fazlur Rehman not criticizing the Pakistani military? It's the military that has gone ahead and sold off Pakistan. It's the military that has shown its incapability. Be it Operation Sindoor, he talks about Afghanistan. At the Durand Line, the Pak military is suffering. In Balochistan, the Pak military is suffering. At CPEC, they've not been able to make amends with China. China upset with this mollycoddling of the Americans and their presence and their influence in Pakistan. All of this is happening under the aegis of Asim Munir, who tried to marry military rule and of course military code with a religious code or a theological code. He's the one who's flouting all norms and breaking all rules and embarrassing Pakistan on the global stage and also contradicting its positions. Why is Fazlur Rehman only targeting Shehbaz Sharif and PMLN?
You said it yourself, actually, to state that, Asif Munir is a dictatorial kind of a leader right now behind the stage. While Pakistan tries to showcase democracy and fight against terrorism, the actual terrorist is within house called Asif Munir. And that is why even Shehbaz is afraid and even Faisal is afraid and anybody else who is in Pakistan. Now, Fazlur Rehman has got some kind of a political, upending by coming in the mainstream now recently. And you have heard his criticism of government policies of Pakistan to deal with Afghanistan and other matters. And in this case specifically, there seems to be some kind of concurrence between the stakeholders in Pakistan, including those terrorist organizations, probably not to sign off this board of peace because it was against their Islamic Caliphate sentiments and ambitions. And they have gone and signed. So while on stage you have seen Shehbaz Sharif signing the accord with President Trump as a vassal, but behind stage it is actually Asif Munir who has ordered this to happen. And for any Fazlur Rehman kinds who are actually being prompted by ISI for long many years and who have been on their doles, it is very difficult for a dog to bite its master, actually. So the master is Asif Munir, and the political dispensation is something which comes and goes in Pakistan as a trade fair every year on. So that is something which they are not afraid of, being from the terrorist background. So I think Asif Munir is not being named because of two reasons. A, people like Fazlur Rehman are afraid of Asif Munir, and B, they actually want to say that it's a democratic country in a process we are blaming just the political class. So I think that's the common sentiment there.
But that is a whole sham, and Fazlur Rehman will now have to show, who has trying to wield a lot of influence in Bangladesh, and then they've been coveted quite a bit. And him and his, radical Islamist theorists and clerics are getting a free run over in Bangladesh, also trying to help the Jamaat shore up some support ahead of the elections. We will continue to track this story. For the moment, thank you, Colonel Rohit Dev. Back to you in the studio.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for shedding light on that perspective. It is a developing story and we will keep updating you as more